So, today we're going to be talking about this whole quarantine thing going on, the coronavirus, and all that crazy stuff that's happening. We're at a point in our lives where this is going to be something that we remember for quite a long time, I'm sure. And it's something that we should actually take very seriously. With this whole thing of quarantine and saying, hey, don't go outside, don't go to public events or places, and staying home, social distancing, that's very important. That also means that for you as actors, if you're going and attending acting classes, that at the moment you can't really do that, and you shouldn't be doing that. One of the big reasons that I'm actually making this video is because I've had a lot of questions coming in lately, especially talking about acting classes, where some actors have asked and said, hey, I really want to take these acting classes. What do you think about these ones? Asked about different opinions and all these different things. And I said, whoa, 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 hang on, slow down a second. I said at this moment, in this day and age, at this moment, you should not be thinking about acting classes. You should be thinking about those once everything's cleared up and everything's okay and we can all go outside and not have to worry about any of this stuff. At the moment, think about it this way. In simplest terms, your health is one of the most important things that you can have as an actor. Also, your health is very important because if you're healthy, it means your parents will be healthy and your grandparents will be healthy. You're not going to be bringing anything back to them. It's really important that you guys stay healthy. Also, just in terms of the whole acting perspective, you do better work when you're healthy. I know for me, as an actor, going and working, if I am not healthy, if I do not feel well, I do not do the best work that I can do. I've had to do shows before where I was sick. I go on, I do a show, and I'm sick. I don't give my best work that I could if I'm completely healthy. Because when I'm going on set, my head hurts, or, I got a runny nose, or, the makeup person has to keep coming because I'm sweating, and they have to clean all this stuff. It's not a fun process to be sick and working. You don't do your best work that way. You do your best work when you're healthy. So if you want to do your best work possible, you want to bring your best foot forward, just stay healthy and work on your health. Which means social distancing. Don't go to these acting classes. I don't think anybody's holding acting classes right now that really shouldn't be holding any acting classes right now. But pause on those. Don't think about them right now. Think about it when everything starts to die out and hey, you're going to be healthy. When this whole thing starts going away and you can all say, okay, we're all going to be okay, then you can start thinking about those acting classes. But you also, as actors, want to still be able to improve and develop. So that's what we're going to be really focusing on in this video today. How you can improve and develop when you're at home. How are you going to practice your acting at home when you have to go and you have to deal with this thing that, hey, you're quarantined. What can you do? So I'm going to be giving you 3 points today. These 3 points, if you implement them and you use them, you'll be making the best time that you can out of this moment in this quarantine. Because we don't know how long it's going to last. Maybe it's going to last a month more. Maybe it's going to be a little more. We don't know. There's no definitive answer quite yet. So what you guys have to do is you just have to start realizing, okay, you have time on your hands. Either you're going to spend this time sitting at home watching TV all day, or you're actually going to be implementing and working and developing your craft as an actor. If you wanted to be a concert pianist, what would you have to do? You have to work and you have to practice. How long do you have to work for? Do you work for 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour? Probably a lot more, as you probably already know. If you watch and you just see other concert pianists talking about their practice, what they have to go through, they practice long hours a day. Same thing you got to do for acting. You got to work at it. You got to practice. You don't just practice it for 10, 15 minutes a day like a lot of actors do. You put in more time, you practice, you develop, you'll be able to come out of this a stronger actor than at the beginning of all this. So you have to start putting in that work, and we're going to be talking about what those are now. So with point number 1, what you can do is watch great acting. Watch great acting. I can't emphasize this anymore. There's this weird thing where, and I think it has to do with this, I think we've been accustomed to being around actors pretty much our whole lives growing up. You see a commercial, you're watching actors. If a commercial came up before this video, you were watching actors who got hired to be in those commercials. Any TV show you watched, you're watching actors. Any movie you watch, you're watching actors. So I think we've become very accustomed to it. So you don't really find some of the special moments. We don't really think about it all that much when there's great acting or when there's so-so acting. Most of the time, I think actors are watching pretty much 80% so-so acting and 20% great acting. You want to switch those ratios around and have it be 80% great acting, 20% so-so acting. During this period in time, what you can do is start watching great acting, great actors. You will start to learn from osmosis. You will start to see great acting, and you start to get used to it, and you just internally will build it into yourself. Something that you can do to make this easier on yourself, so you don't have to go and do a lot of different research, finding out what are the best movies to watch. Make your life easy. Watch Oscar-nominated movies. The reason that Oscar-nominated movies are so good to watch is because you already know the acting is going to be great. Directing is probably going to be great. Storytelling is probably going to be great. For the most part, Oscar-nominated movies are very safe choices to watch because they're almost guaranteed to be good projects. It's hard to know if you've never heard of a film before and you're like, oh, there's this thing on Netflix, I'm just going to watch it. Maybe great, maybe great acting, or it may not be. But if you watch an Oscar-nominated movie, you know for the most part, it's probably going to be pretty darn good. So during this time, watch some great acting. Now, don't watch it for the whole day, every single day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. But I'm sure during this time, you're going to be watching some sort of acting going on. You're going to be watching a few TV shows, maybe a movie here and there. When you have the choice to watch a movie, watch an Oscar-nominated movie. Watch great acting. It will help improve your acting, and you'll start to learn more different ideas of storytelling and different actors you start getting used to. There's a lot of benefits of watching great acting, and you start to get used to some of these other different people within the industry. Maybe recognize some directors here and there, and a lot of different great things. So watch great acting. Point number 2. So now for point number 2, what you have to do is you have to find out as an actor, what are your weak points and what are your strong points. You want to work on the weak points. During this period in time, you want to be able to build whatever those weak points are up to a level over to here. So for example, as an actor, if your memorization skills aren't very strong, that should be something that you're working on during this period in time. Doesn't mean you're going to be a great and amazing afterwards, but you can still work to improve it. So what do I mean by this? For memorization skills as an actor, you may have, let's say, if this whole quarantine thing wasn't going on, tomorrow an audition. Now, you have to memorize your lines, so when you go into that audition, you can give your best work possible. If you, on average, take about 5 days to memorize your lines, well, if you have an audition tomorrow, you're not going to have your lines fully memorized at all. You'll have it 1/5 the way memorized to a decent degree, but not how you would if you had 5 whole days. So you have to start working it. Maybe get it to a point where it's just 3 days, then 2 days, then 1 day. You want to start getting that memorization skills to be very strong. Use this time, spend this time to work on your memorization skills. Maybe it's not that though. Maybe it's believability that you have to work on. Maybe it's your listening. Maybe it's your self-tape auditions. Maybe you're a great auditioner when you're in person, but when you have those self-tape auditions, something just doesn't work right. Maybe it's awkward. Maybe you don't know where to look, where to stand. Maybe there's a lot of different things going on. Work on it and develop it. Start working on this process so after this whole thing's all done, you come out a stronger actor than when this whole thing started. Now it's your job to put in the time and the work to be able to do that, but if you can put in that time because you have the time now, you can become a much stronger and proficient actor. So find out right now, what are your weak points? What are you not very strong at? What do you have to work at? And then spend this time working on that. Again, how much are you going to work? You're going to work 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. A good ratio to think about is this. What does the concert pianist do? How would the concert pianist right now be working on their acting? If you ask them today how much they worked, and then I asked you how much you worked, what would the ratio be? Who would have practiced their acting more? Who would have worked on their acting more? Who would have researched their acting more? Who would have done more work? The concert pianist or you? It's a good ratio. It's a good thing to hold your standards up very high. Now, for this last point here, point number 3, is working on those special skills and talents. So I talked about this before about 3 or 12 months ago, something like that. The reason that special talents are important for you as an actor is they can help give you more auditions. So as an actor, we know in this business it requires luck. Now, to increase your percentage and chances of booking, to increase your luck, the more auditions you have, the better chance that you have of potentially booking a part. For example, if I said this year, I can give you either 10 auditions or I can give you 50 auditions. Well, if I give you 50 auditions, you have a better chance at booking compared to if I give you 10 auditions. You could book those 10, you could book one of those auditions, but you have a better chance if I give you 50 auditions. What the special skills help us do is they help give us a little bit more auditions here and there. So let's say, for example, when you audition on an average of, in a few months, let's say 30 auditions you get. But now let's say when you have a special talent, if you can play an instrument, let's say that gives you 10 more auditions. That gives you 10 more potential opportunities at booking a part. So now instead of having 30 auditions, you would have 40 auditions. You want to give yourself the best percentage and the best chance possible at booking a part. Doesn't guarantee that you're going to book it, but you want to give yourself the best chance possible. That's the important thing to realize. How do you give yourself the best chance at booking that part? And then, of course, you want to have great acting on the way as you go in for those auditions. The reason that music is very important is because it's very hot right now. Music is a very hot thing to be able to do. It goes in waves, and it goes in hills and valleys. There's a point where it's very hot, and then it's not, and then now we're in the point where it's very hot again, and it's doing very well for getting those auditions. There's some movie ones, but it's actually more so for TV and commercial auditions. But it will have some for movies as well. But if you can, you will get a lot more auditions. I can't tell you how many more auditions that I've gotten just because I was able to play music. Not anything to do with the acting or anything like that, just for the fact that I could play music. That was something that helped get me into the room. Now, of course, I had to be able to go and do the work. I had to go and actually be able to act and do well, because otherwise if I go in there and I can play music but I can't act, well, then I'm not going to be booking the part. So I have to be able to do both, and you give yourself the best chance if you can actually go in there and do great acting. Again, you're trying to increase your percentages. Yes, you have a special talent, maybe that gets you into the room. Once you get into the room, though, now you have to be able to give yourself another step up by being able to do great acting. Because if they're going to compare you to another actor, they're kind of so-so. They don't know if they like you or the other actor, but if your acting is great, that will be something that can set you apart from another actor. So yes, your acting has to be great, but you also have to get into the door, and those special skills and talents can help you do that. Other things that are pretty hot and good are martial arts, being able to do martial arts. Dancing is also another one. But the biggest one right now is music. Music is really, really big. Now, does that mean if you're working on music that after this whole quarantine thing you're going to be great? No, it doesn't mean that, but it means that you've started it. You've started working on it. Maybe you will improve a little bit more, which is great. But you have to start at some point. Either you can start now where you have the time, or you can start later on towards the end of this thing where now all of a sudden your time is getting taken up because now you're having to work and you have to maybe do classes and all these different things that are going on. So spend the time now. If you guys can do these 3 things, you will greatly improve your chances of later on being able to book those parts once we can all get back into this whole auditioning process. Because as many of you already know, if you guys are already auditioning has pretty much halted. There's not really any auditions going on right now. No on-site auditions at all. There's some video submissions here and there, but overall, in the general scope of things, auditions have pretty much come to almost a solid halt. And we will be getting back on those pretty quickly. I know quite a few actors who have been on TV shows and movies that those projects have gotten halted also. So they were working, they were booked, and then now they had to go home because now everything's halted for the moment until they can make sure that everything will be okay. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you can be up to date with everything. Give this video a thumbs up if it helps you guys. Also, I'll be leaving the 10-hour acting masterclass down in the description below and also in the comment section if you guys are interested in that. It takes about 2 minutes or so to sign up, as well as the 10 acting resume templates. Ready? See you guys next time. Bye, guys.